Now give me my theme music.
Thank you for joining us. This is Mark Tamayo from Nemesis Kennels, and you're on with Dobie Talk. Welcome to Dobie Talk. This is Mark Tamayo and Felicia Tamayo, and we have a special guest on today, getting their experience with their Doberman, which is CAPO the Doberman. He'll be 1 year old next month. He was from our last litter, our line litter with Cash and Deuce. And we do have another litter on the ground right now. So they're going to be talking about their experience from when they actually got the puppy until now, and what their ups and downs have been. And hopefully you guys can get some experience in searching a breeder or looking for a European Doberman. So again, thanks, Ivonne and Memo, and welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi guys.
Hey Yvonne. Hey Memo. How you guys doing?
Good. Doing good.
Good. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry, Yvonne, what'd you say?
Oh no, Capo's taking his nap right now, so
getting his beauty sleep.
Yeah, so you guys just a little touch basis on us, just letting us know what you guys actually did this morning. You guys did a 6 mile hike.
Yes,
Right.
yes, we did. We woke up like at 6 in the morning, went for a hike. We didn't really have a plan of how long we were gonna go, but we saw that Capo was just having so much fun going, hiking and stuff, and he was just a hapless boy.
He was in his own zone. You should have seen it. He just takes off and just wanders and keeps going. But the funny thing is that he can go like a certain distance, but he does stop. He stops and waits for us.
Nice.
So I think that's
Well, I
cute.
see you guys.
Catch up.
Yeah, I see you guys training them a lot. I see you guys, doing a downstay, from far distance, and you bring them over to you guys and things like that. So he's doing really good. I think you guys are doing really good with him, and but I also see that you guys are doing a lot of activities. You guys are doing a lot of hikes, a lot of socialization with other dogs. Tell us a little about that. How'd you hook up with a little network of Dobermans that you guys go out with?
So that one because of Facebook group. So one day I was just like, man, I want to get Capo and I want to have a bunch of Dobermans. So I posted on the group like, hey, let's do like a little Dobie meetup.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one person sent me, I guess, the Instagram of SoCal Doberman through Messenger, and that's how we connected. And I didn't know they had a whole following. They've been doing it for a while, and that's how it started. And then we went, and it was actually nice. I think the first day we went, there was maybe around 13, 14 Dobermans.
That's awesome. Was that your first time being around a group of that many Dobermans at that one time?
Right. And then obviously Capo was the baby. He was probably maybe 6 months.
6 months.
He was a pup out there, and the other Dobermans were maybe 2-3 years old already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're familiar with SoCal Dobermans. They've been doing meetups for a while. They used to do a lot of meetups at Huntington Beach, dog park. And we initially started going before we had so many dogs and puppies. So yeah, it's a great time. It's a good opportunity to socialize your Doberman with other dogs, and get them familiar and more comfortable with that. When you guys first went down to SoCal, how was his reaction? Was he a little timid?
No, at this point, I don't think he was, because we started socializing him the day that we got him from you.
Mm-hmm.
We started taking him to family, kids, so he was familiar with the whole, being around other dogs. So that first meetup was actually pretty successful, I would say.
Awesome. Well, back to the question of early socialization. When you first initially got him from us as a breeder, what made you attracted to the Doberman from other dog breeds, and what other dog breeds have you had that that Capo is a little different from them? And then the other question is, what made you come to, or find us as a breeder, with Nemesis Kennels? You can answer that.
Well, for me, I always loved just basically the look. And as I started doing more research on them, just the temperament and what type of their high drive, all of that, then I became even more in love with the breed, especially because I wanted a dog that's gonna force me to get out, go
Sure.
out to run,
And they will.
exercise, all of that. So yeah, that was my reason to get him. And I grew up having a Rottweiler, so it's pretty similar to in look.
Sure.
But something about the Doberman, I just loved the look. And with
you could just say elegant and fierce at the same time.
Yeah, elegant. He looks scary. Like, I also wanted a protection dog. Like, if I'm walking down the street and I feel like safe in a way.
Sure.
So that and just the look. And for you, he had a Doberman.
I had a Doberman. I was 13. He was an American Adobe.
Mm-hmm.
I think I fell in love when I was 10. I think I saw it in the movie, and I was like, I don't know what that dog is, but I want one. Because I thought they looked so tough, and they were like fast, and they were like, thin and athletic. So I was just like, oh, I want one of those dogs. And I always ask my mom, I want one. So later on, I found out, they're called a Doberman.
Yeah.
And so until it happened, and I got one, and I told her that I still remember him, but not as much, just because it was a long time ago.
Sure.
But he was a great dog, and obviously Velcro dog. I remember when I would get home, he was just like do his little whimpers or cries of excitement, and he jumps up on you, licks you. I remember one time he was so excited he actually knocked me over,
Did he?
and fell to the floor, and I was just like but I understood he just he meant no harm.
Sure. And that's basically the other question that you guys had was the research. You guys did your research between say a Rottweiler, an American Doberman, and now that you guys did all your research with the European Doberman, is that the reason why you kind of moved towards the European Doberman, because of the protection, the look, maybe the size?
Well, for European, we went European just because, not to talk down to the American. I was like, you know what? They're much thicker. They actually look even better. A better version. I was like, let's go with them. With
Sure.
the European. And,
Yeah.
And even before we planned, or even before she thought of getting the dog, we were doing hikes. We were going on long hikes. I was going to the gym, so kind of was like might as well, if we're having them, we're already doing this, and that way we can have a little third there with us and keep us on track with.
Yeah. Because they will make you go out.
Yeah.
They'll bug you all day long to make you guys go out, and keep you active, and that's why, we always stipulate a questionnaire for our clients, to ensure that our dogs are going to an active family or active individual, so, that their dog is not being, sat at home and, getting into things and
living in a crate.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
So the other question you guys had was the socialization, and I think we touched bases on that, early, about you taking them to dog meets and and socializing them early with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
What does your family think about him?
Oh my gosh. They love him. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
My mom loves him. My mom was actually just visiting. She just left yesterday. She met him, and he's such a sweetheart. My niece, she's 7 years old. They clicked. She fell in love with him. I'm just really happy that he's really good with kids, with small kids, and just meeting new people. I couldn't have asked for a better dog. He has such great temperament. He listens, he waits, and it's like he knows. He's gentle as well.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. And and that's again, the breed, the bloodline that we have, the great temperament that they come with.
But it's also a testament to you two.
Yep.
And the vibe you guys have with each other, and the energy you put off, that goes over to your dog, and then your dog will feel that with other people. So
and that bond, again, you guys put in the time. I see you working them all the time.
Everywhere. And It's funny because I think you posted something yesterday where you said, if my dog can't go, then I won't go. Or something like that. And I'm like, that is 100% true.
Yeah,
Right.
Couple, then
we're staying home.
we're staying.
Yeah.
We have to find something that's dog friendly. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like your child, you know. If you can't take your child with you, you know, don't ask me to
I'm
go.
not going.
You know, so that's awesome, and I love that. You know, what type of tools did you guys use to pretty much keep them under control? Do you guys use any like
Training tools?
yeah, training tools like prong collars or any e-collars or anything like that you guys needed to do? And what type of training that you guys, you know, put into them?
Well, yeah, I mean, we started with the commands, getting basic
We
commands,
use treats first.
treats, a lot of
Sure.
a lot of treats, a lot of positive
Reinforcement.
yes, and we do use prongs. We introduced that later on, but once he got his commands down,
Mm-hmm.
and we introduced the prong. I'm gonna talk a little bit of it because he does. I give a lot of credit to this guy.
Oh,
He's done an excellent job training him.
Yes.
And he shows.
It shows. It shows.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he just does it so well. And
Yeah.
sometimes I tell her, sometimes you just gotta fake it till you make it.
yeah, I think I'm a little more on the nervous
Yeah,
side. Like no, he's gonna run up or he's gonna, and he's just way more.
Yeah, with the prong was more like no pulling, more like leash manners.
Mhm.
Also, when skateboard, scooters, bikes, no barking, anything like that. Especially also if like any strangers approaches us, like he doesn't bark or anything. So we taught him all that stuff, and he knows that like of course if someone's coming from towards us, we normally move and he already knows like to sit down and everything.
He does it
to
on
wait.
his own now.
Like now, like without the prong, it's like he already knows like. what
Oh,
to
he
do.
does.
Yeah, and then he got better with like the no barking, obviously, and like bicycles and people and strollers and all that stuff. So that's good. I feel like the prong did help a lot on the leash walk
Oh
Yeah.
and then the barking. And yeah, so far it turned out great.
Yeah. Do you hear Deuce in the background?
Mhm.
Yeah.
He wants to join.
Yeah.
Oh,
One
yeah.
question that we had too is, or you guys had, was different weights of your dog, maybe compared to other dogs, or what the average weight should be for a male European Doberman and a female European Doberman. Do you guys see that CAPO's a little bigger or maybe a little smaller than other Dobermans that you see out there?
I think where he needs to be, but sometimes I feel like he might be thinner.
Smaller, but he's still a puppy,
He's
right?
a little stuff up, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's just getting huge every time. Like I don't know. Sometimes I
Every
see
time you see
really
him?
like like for
Some days,
example,
yeah.
some days I see him small, and
Yeah.
some other days I'm like, damn, this is
Developed.
huge.
I remember when I saw Deuce's chest and I thought it was small, and it was just a couple months later I was like, look at this beast. He's just really spreading himself out. So like every month he goes through a different change, and I'm sure you see that with Capo, right?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and plus, it depends on the diet that you have them on. A lot of people like to feed raw to their dogs,
Mhm.
so that's a great a great diet for them. But it gets expensive, for a lot of us. So we tend to like mix. Every so often we give them a steak or a chicken quarter, things like that. But normally we do have them on a high protein diet with a Nook Shook or Taste of the Wild, and we do mix it, so they can have those extra calories when they come back from training. So
When you see bigger Dobermans out there, are they at same athleticism as a smaller, leaner dog? You see that they're a little slower, right? Right, because they're a little chunkier.
They're fluffy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
more fluffy.
they're out of breath within a few seconds. I'm like, maybe he's overweight.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we always strive to have healthy dogs, and again, that's being active. I always say, nutrition and exercise, those are keys that you guys have to put into your dog, and, giving them the right food, and then making sure that you're exercising them daily, and they'll keep a good weight on them. So another thing that you guys wanted to talk about was potty training. Maybe some people are having trouble with having puppies that are being potty trained, pee pads, or going in certain areas in the house, especially males, because they like to mark, their territory. Females, when they get to a certain age, they'll start spotting if they're unfixed. So what complications or what good that you've seen that Capo came with when he was potty trained?
Yeah, he picked it up real quick.
But we were on top of it. We were going out every 20, 30 minutes, any little whimper, any little...
Or when he sniffs
whine.
around, makes circles and sniffs around.
Sure.
We pick him out,
You noticed it?
Yeah, I pick him up and I run outside. I'm like, here you go.
Yeah, right? Outside. Pee outside.
Did you have a command for that? As you were taking him out, you're like, oh, we're going to potty outside? Or what did you use?
I would just tell him, I'm like, go pee. I'm like... Maybe he doesn't know, but I'm just like, go pee. And then if he would pee or poo, I'll be like, oh, good boy.
Nice.
I'll bring him inside then.
That's awesome. So what, do you guys use any pee pads or anything like that? You don't use any of that do you guys keep him in a crate when you guys are away from home, when he's home alone? Or is he always with you guys?
Shit, I think he's with us 24/7. So pee pads, we had them. We thought we were gonna need them, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So
he always gravitated to outside.
Outside, right? So now he knows. Like for example, now if he wants to go, he just goes next to the door.
Yeah.
He sits there.
Yeah.
And I just open and he just lets loose and goes.
Nice. Yeah, we're fortunate to have a doggy door, so they go in and out whenever they want to. Normally at night, sometimes they like to bark at the little critters outside. So sometimes we keep them inside, but they do get to the little separation fence, and they start barking when they do want to go outside. So that's a good thing, And that's one thing as breeders, we try to have them trained from a pee pad when they're in their whelping ken to about 5 to 6 weeks old. And then once they have their first vaccinations and they are starting to go outside and getting more familiar with outside, we start having them right after they eat, go outside. Let's go outside. Let's go pee. Like you said, Memo, pee. Let's go pee, and we take them outside. So they start gravitating to go outside. Once they reach about 7 to 8 weeks old, and we let them run around the house and we do stuff like that. We let them out of the the kennel or the playpen, and they go straight out the doggy door, So that's one thing that, we kind of pride ourselves on, So hopefully you guys got, a little benefit from that. You guys didn't have to work so hard.
Really, you have to film that. You got to catch that on video when they all go using your little door.
I think we have a post and we had to put it in slow-mo because they were going so fast.
Yeah, they all came busting out of the crate, going straight to the door. But yeah, when we say food or we say pee-pee and stuff like that, so that's kind of cool. Now, desensitizing your Doberman, what did you guys actually want to know about that, or what do you guys want to talk about desensitizing your Doberman to different environments?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did what I think it's pretty desensitized. Like we the vacuum, like we would turn it on, blender, the doorbell, we played with it so that he doesn't bark every time.
What about like fireworks and stuff like that? Because I know a lot of people like to light fireworks. How is he? Does he have any anxiety?
No, actually, not at all.
Not even like the ambulance or a motorcycle. Construction. He's like, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we did play some YouTube videos with sounds.
Yeah, she did. She would put all sorts of sounds.
I would play that. Dogs barking, all of that.
Sure.
Babies crying.
Yeah. It's funny because when like right now, the puppies right now that we have, they're listening to classical music.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
I always put classical music on for the dogs. It kind of soothes them, and they just relax. And it also soothes the moms too, the dams. So they're laying there feeding them, but it just gives them a little ambient music so they can relax. And sometimes we do, like you said, we put different types of sounds on so they can get a little desensitized from it, and hopefully it'll work longer down the line. So that's awesome. What about setting boundaries for him? Especially when you guys want to have your private time and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I think he understands now. Like, when we tell him, you can go on the couch. Well, we weren't gonna let him on the furniture, but he kind of took over. But he knows,
right?
Like when it's bedtime, we allow him on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's nighttime, he knows that he needs to go to his crate.
Sure.
And I don't know, like, how did we do it? Just sort of.
It kind of just everything went in a good, I guess, good flow. But as far as like having between me and her, we would have something to do.
Uh-huh.
We would maybe tire this guy out and then tell him bedtime, and then we obviously go out to the movie theater or something.
Yep.
And then we have the little doggy cam, and you can
just perfect. Always watching. I love it.
But the boundary as far as that, he knows that we, like, once we tell him off, he jumps up whether the couch or the bed.
Oh yeah,
and same thing.
We did train off on.
And I think the cutest thing is that whenever he's whether on the couch or on his other little bed in the living room, and it's bedtime, I literally say "CAPO bedtime," and he already knows. He walks straight to his crate.
To his crate.
And then continuously.
That's good. You want to make it a comfortable environment for him. Does he have any like toys or anything that he plays with in it, or he just goes in and plays down?
No, not in this crate. I think at first we did
in the beginning. Yeah, to make him comfortable.
Help him get comfortable with being in there.
Yeah, it was the first night it was tough because I wanted to take him out and just cuddle him because he was, crying. But we fought that urge. I think it's very important.
You fought that urge. Just leave him. I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Crying at nighttime. I think it was like 20 minutes.
I even told her beforehand, before we even got him, I'm like, yo, that dog cries or whatever, you gotta leave him.
Right.
So yeah, very important, from day one to set that boundary.
Sure.
You're not gonna sleep on the bed with us. Your
yeah, again, you want to make it comfortable for him. So if he does have to stay in there, at a long period of time, you guys are away for a few hours having dinner or something like that, he's not whimpering, he's not going crazy, he's not biting at the crate, again.
No, he hasn't. Actually, he's never destroyed a bed.
That's great. That's
Wow.
awesome. You guys
are lucky in the house.
Save money.
Yeah.
Like furniture, sofa, pillows, nothing.
He has
really?
That's another thing that we
I think we passed on that one.
Yeah, 100%.
Prepared. We said
A++.
Yeah, we said let's get some cheap beds because he's going to destroy it.
He didn't.
He doesn't destroy his.
Awesome.
Just his toys.
Just his toys, which is good.
Well, that's
Have you had the same type of toys, or do you transition from like those little soft, little squeaky ones into something else, or does he just play with everything?
We bought them all sorts. So we bought the squeaky ones. We bought the ones that are Velcro. We bought some like rubber balls. We bought some plastic ones. We bought like the furry fuzzy ones.
Sure.
I think the one that we got from you guys, it made its run.
It lasted for a little bit.
Yeah,
it did.
So good. He just likes to. It's like a challenge to him. He likes to.
He rips off the strips.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he rips it off. So we were like, until it kind of goes bald, we'll remove it.
Yep.
But it's very durable.
Yeah. It was durable for us when we created it, in mind of the Doberman, because they do have, they like to play with it, like to chew on it, and it was short enough where they weren't really chewing at it as much as other toys, because some toys can get lodged in their throat, so again, you're spending a lot of money on different types of toys to introduce them, and you find out what works and doesn't, and make sure that it's always safe for them. So, hopefully it worked. Hopefully it lasted longer than some other toys that you guys had.
Just cut off the destroyed pieces that are.
Right.
Well, it's
still there. We still have it.
That's awesome. Now, the other thing is, you guys being so active, what do you guys recommend to other people that are looking for Dobermans? What type of lifestyle should they have, or should they be in order to have a high drive working, European Doberman like CAPO?
If you're already working out or doing some sort of cardio, and you know that in your busy schedule you have time for all that stuff, for that specific time, then get them. But if not, then look for something else, or maybe just go to a relative that has a pet. But I don't know. You have to be really active. You have to at least, do some sort of activity.
Sure.
For example, we're already doing hikes, whether every other day or maybe like 2-3 times a week. She was.
You guys are already doing that,
right? And then we were like, she was going to the gym, I was going to the gym, and we would even go on runs and all that stuff. So.
And then you just introduce Capo to your lifestyle, basically, and then
that's pretty much. And he loves it.
He loves it.
Yeah. So I would say you just have to be active. If you're an active person and you like doing all that stuff, and
yeah,
I think a Doberman would be perfect, especially if you want someone there to like have your back.
Sure. And and that goes on to our next question, where what we try to do, with our clients and how we filter our clients. Is through a questionnaire. We ask them, what type of activities you guys do in your daily routine, in your daily lifestyle. Will this dog be a best fit for you? Because the last thing we want to do is try to rehome a dog after a certain amount of years or months, because they do come with separation anxiety, right? So it's hard for them to go into a new home and get familiar with those people, because they're so bonded and so codependent on their previous owner. So that's one thing that we try to pride ourselves to, because it's not just for the sale of the puppy. We want to make sure that the dog is safe, secure, active in that family. So what do you guys feel about that?
Well, I mean, that's another thing, that we would like to add is if you don't have time, if you're always out, don't have a Doberman. It's not for you, because you shouldn't crate your dog, all day. They need to be out, and I think a lot of people just kind of get excited when they see a Doberman and they want one, but they don't. It's not until they have it then
they don't know all the work that has to.
Yeah, because it is challenging.
Responsibility.
It's going to be challenging. We've had our challenges, but we remind ourselves, you're his life.
Sure.
He lives for you, and it's unfair to them to give them up.
And I think again, going back to you guys, putting the time in, the work that you guys put in the front end, you guys are going to see it on the back end, later down the line, because you guys are staying consistent, with him. You start with the breed and the bloodline and the temperament and the confidence, and then you just build off of that. And again, you guys are doing great. So, with that said, what stigma do you think that the Dobermans have compared to other dogs?
That they're aggressive, that they turn on their owners, and they're not good family dogs. We hear that. That's.
What's your perspective on that? Do you think because people don't put in the time with their dog?
Absolutely. I think it has to do with the owner, and
sure.
It's also unfair for the dog.
Not God's fault.
It's not their fault.
Sure.
I think you have to ask why. Why is your dog aggressive? Why is he acting this way?
It's like why, or more like what haven't you not done?
It's like you have to correct any bad behavior right away from day one. Just like we corrected Capo when because he would bark at bites. He knew his commands and stuff, and that's where you use the tools as well, because he can forget. Dogs can be a little stubborn, and once they're out and there's all these things going on, they kind of forget. They know what no means. They know they need to sit, but then they forget, or they just keep.
And I like that you touched on the fact that it's the owner, that there's something that we have to do as owners, that it's not so much the dog. The dog's going to be a dog at the end of the day, or a dog's going to do what a dog's going to do. But what can we change as an owner to reinforce, certain behaviors in our dogs?
Capo, I see him all the time. You guys are working him. He's a great looking dog, first of all. Then his obedience and the things that you guys do with him, you know, the socialization and stuff like that is awesome, and I'm not saying that other dogs are not like that. I just think that you guys are putting in the work, you know, and it's great, and that's why we love owners like you, and that's why we look for owners like you, because we know that you're gonna love that dog like like your little baby, and you're gonna put in that time. So that's awesome. The last thing that we want to talk about basically is about grooming. People always tell us, man, your dogs are so shiny, their coats are so soft, you know, my dog is like freaking, you know, shedding or so rough and they're flaking and stuff. What do you guys use? You know, so let me ask you, what do you guys use, and do you guys get a lot of compliments on the coat? And then what do you guys do to actually, you know, maybe groom him, like nails and washing him?
We brush him. Takes a bath like once every 4 weeks. I can't say anything specific that we do that makes him shiny. I think he's just Dobermans are just
shiny, yeah.
And it has to do, I guess, with their diet, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, we always recommend coconut oil. Felicia's a big supplement person, so she's always, you know, adding stuff to shine.
I keep a little bit of coconut oil.
Yeah, whether it's in the food or on the dog itself.
But that's another thing that we get, you know.
You said you brush Capo a lot. Is there a certain type of brushing tool that you use?
We use something similar to that.
Something similar.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because you know they're not long-haired dogs, you know, so you want to be careful of scratching them.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I mean, if you have another tool that you recommend, I'm afraid to go in.
Oh, I think that tool is great.
Yeah, I think that tool is great too. You just got to be careful, and you know, brush them softly and take off that, you know, little layer of extra hair. But that's awesome. That's awesome. Did you guys want to talk about anything else that our viewers may, you know, take away from this podcast or from this episode, and maybe help them in the future on picking a European Doberman?
I would say maybe just really look into the breed and make sure you're gonna make the right choice. You know, take your time on actually looking, you know, the dog up and just making sure that it actually suits you.
And and just be careful, you know, because there's a lot of scammers out there. And,
sure.
And a good breeder is going to, you know, give you an application and, you know,
social media.
And check the social media. Look at other dogs,
even Google the email.
Because there's a lot of scammers. There's a lot of people that
well, you know, that brings me to the question, you know, what actually, you know, took the initiative when you guys were looking for a breeder? What, you know, made you guys come to us, you know, at Nemesis Kennels? Were you seeing us online? Did you get referred to us?
I forgot how we came across this page. I think you're the one.
Yeah, because I was looking up for, you know, like breeders, and every single breeder that was in SoCal, I would like send her the links, and then she would like browse and look and see which one convinced her.
We came across you, and you know, I like the communication as well. You answered my questions, and you showed me. We even went to go meet Capo. There
was a lot of engagement.
Yeah, a lot of engagement, and you know, I love the screening and all that. Like, you know,
because there were some breeders that you would just, you know, ask them, hey, you know, and they just like send you a copy and paste already, like format and everything, and that's it. Like,
gotcha.
Even if you have any other questions, they won't answer. Like,
I think the key in a breeder is to be very transparent with what you're doing. You know, with either the health records or whatever you're going through. When you have a client, you know, there's no smoke and mirrors with us. You know, what you see is what you're going to get, you know, so that's why I try to, you know, post daily on the progress of our puppies or our dogs, what they're actually doing, what training they're getting, what food they're eating, things like that, you know, so people can be aware. Because again, when you're looking for a dog and these people don't want to answer your questions, or they're kind of seem suspect on, you know, on the information that they're giving you, you know, you're a little hesitant, you know, because what type of dog, you know, are they representing by doing that stuff, you know, by being, you know, that type of person. Because again, you know, you're like Felicia says, and other people say, you know, you're your best dog's advocate. They don't have a voice. You have to be the voice for your dogs. So you got to always look the best interest for your dogs. And so that's why we're so transparent in what we do. And we love that feedback from you guys. And that's why we're trying to do this podcast, because we don't want to say that we're this or we're that. We want you guys to speak from your own personal experience, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, but we want to, share this experience with other people so they can be aware down the line, so they won't get scammed or, get a dog that, may have health risks or anything like that. So, that's great, and again, we appreciate you guys coming on and spending some time with us. And hopefully some people, out there that are in, are thinking about getting a Doberman or a European Doberman, that, they do their research, and make sure that they're getting it from a reputable breeder. So again, we thank you for taking some time out, and hopefully you guys enjoy Capo. Can we see him real quick?
Of course. Capo. Look at him. Oh, where is he?
There he is.
Hi, handsome guy.
What's up, big boy?
Hold on, let me shine the light real quick.
So dark.
Yeah, the last time we seen him was on our first little dog meetup that we had at the park.
Say hi.
Here he is.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I used to live with them.
Look at him.
There you go, little show off.
Yeah, he's awesome. Look at him. Look at that shine.
Yeah, he's so
Shining in the light. Well, again, thank you guys for taking some time out. We appreciate it. Hopefully we can do more of these down the line. We'd love to see the progress of Capo. Let us know, tag us in pictures, because we love to share, the progress of him. And and let other people know that what type of dogs that we do breed,
right,
what type of temperament and things like that. So again, the proof is in the pudding, like I always say.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say on the next meetup, are you gonna do another meetup soon, or?
Yeah, we're gonna try to do a lot of things, going forward, so we can better socialize our dogs and get people that are newly dog owners to be involved in the Doberman community, because again, we're preservation breeders. We want to promote the breed in a good light, making sure that we're doing the right thing by the breed and by our owners. So yeah, we have a lot of things in the works. We'll let you guys know. Right now, me being pretty much focused on the dogs, I'm pretty much a stay-at-home dad with all the puppies 24/7 while Felicia holds down the fort.
I think once the puppies are off to their new homes, we'll be ready to do another meetup.
Yeah,
sure.
hopefully like a hike, because we always enjoyed hiking.
Yeah.
We did that prior, and we took our dogs, our Jack Russells and different type of dogs that we had back in the day. We always took them on hikes before we got into breeding. So we would love to do some hikes with you guys and go out and and share some experiences.
Yeah, sounds fun. Those puppies, you gotta get more puppy videos, man.
Yeah, I'm trying. Once they get about 4 to 5 weeks old, they have a little more character, so I start taking more pictures of them. Right now they just eat, sleep, and crap.
Right. What about that little puppy, that little crazy one that was like upside down, wiggling back and forth?
Oh, did you see him?
Yeah,
That's
cool.
Cool, right?
That's Cash and Deuce's litter.
Yeah, that one.
Again, the mom only has 8 to 10 teats, right? And when you have about those many puppies, they're always fighting to eat. And that one just dove in. he dove in, and he was wiggling, trying to get into it. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta film this. I gotta get this. And then I just put that beep, bop, boop, bop.
I'm curious on the one. He's gonna be older. How is he gonna be? He's gonna be different.
Oh yeah.
He'll be the one that gets what he wants in life.
Right, exactly.
And those are the things that you see, early signs of dogs, when they show that alpha role, when they show the dominance towards the other one, who's gravitating to the mom first, who's fighting for it, And I always tend to say that first pick ain't crap, man. People always want first pick because they see the size, or they see this, or they see that. I think the smaller ones are more fire, because they have to fight even more to get to it, compared to the bigger ones, where the bigger ones are pushing, them away and things like that, where the smaller ones, they have to fight double as hard. So they tend to be almost the same size, but just a little more, have a little more like,
Drive.
a little more drive than the others.
A little more motivation.
Yep. So that's awesome that you've seen that. Yeah, those are great little videos. We try to share all these little things.
Now you have to put them on YouTube now.
Right. Yeah, we're trying, man. That's why we started this podcast. So hopefully, again, this will take off to help some other people. We have some other people in line to talk about their experiences. Hopefully, again, always here to help, always here to learn.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again. Appreciate it. Give Capo a big kiss and hug for us, and we'll see you guys soon.
Likewise.
Yeah. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Take care.
Likewise.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm a OP boy. Know that the ride or die. I keep boys.